with you guys? I just came from swimming and my hair is kind of a mess, and I've just been really flustered today because so much is happening, so many changes, and it's just been a while of changes happening, and this video is supposed to come out tomorrow, and I was just didn't get to making the video earlier, and I was just thinking about what I want to talk to you guys about. And being pregnant is literally being on a roller coaster. And then on top of that, my actual life is always changing around. It's always transforming because there's just so much that goes into the kind of growth that I've done over the past few years. I mean, not long ago, I was essentially homeless with no credit, with nothing, just like a kid, basically, living on people's couches, living in people's homes, constantly getting kicked out of people's homes, not understanding why everybody wanted me out of their homes, learning about it through learning about myself, figuring out how to make a home, figuring out how to make money in a way that was more sustainable, because I kept getting kicked out of jobs, and just constant roller coaster even before I was here, pregnant, all this. Really a roller coaster of a life, trying to learn how to adult. But all these learning experiences happened very fast. I've been learning very fast. And, learning how to do the basics of picking up, walking, surviving, getting fed, feeding myself. Learning relationships from scratch. Started off with just, I don't even know if you can call them one night stands. They were like meetings with people that were so weirded out by how brand new I was from the religious community that I was from. They were just so weirded out by me. They would meet me for the first time, and the first thing I would say, I would talk about that I want to have 7 children, and then I want to live like this and this, and they'd be like, whoa, this is a drink date. What are you doing? And I would come from my religious background, saying the things that I knew that you should say on a date. The dates in the religious community were just so different than the dates in the secular world. In the secular world, you don't even talk about children. You don't even talk about anything about the future. You're supposed to just be in the moment and get drunk and just enjoy the other person's company, which I really didn't understand how to do. I did not enjoy anybody's company. I was always just thinking about the future and planning and all these things, so learning how to be in relationships. I was extremely lucky that I found, for my first sort of relationship and then my first real relationship, I found really, really good people, and then I found Andrew. These changes happened really fast. These developments in myself happened really fast. But when they were happening, it didn't feel like it was happening fast. It felt like it was happening very slow. It felt like, when am I ever going to find my soulmate, the person that I'm supposed to be with, that I am going to build things with? When am I ever going to, even with Andrew, when are things going to ever be good, stable, normal? When will I ever feel safe, okay? Everything has just always felt in the moment. I think it's not just me. I think most people feel like this when they're going through transformations, suffering, struggling, whatever. It just doesn't, it feels like it's taking forever. And it really takes the event passing or the development passing over you to be able to look back and say, wow, I accomplished a lot. I made a lot of progress in a very, very short amount of time. And that's just kind of what you got to do if you have goals that are kind of lofty. If you are homeless and broke and you don't have a single skill in your pocket, in your toolbox, you don't have any connections, you don't have any nice things, likable things about your character, maybe you're a little ugly. Ugly is so subjective, so maybe you're just unhealthy. Unhealthy is universal. Yeah, you're just kind of screwed up. Then I want to be the king of the world or the queen of the world might be a little bit lofty for you, but you can still do it. I'm telling you, you can do whatever you want. You literally can do whatever you want. But if you are dumpster diving and you want to be the king, then it's going to take a few steps. And when you do it, when you take those steps, it's going to feel like you're in a washing machine. It's going to feel like you're in a roller coaster. It's going to feel like you're zooming and you're crazy, and it's going to feel like it's taking too long, but actually you will be zooming, because you're zooming through like a million steps. Like most people, they move like this, and you're moving like this. And if you read my book, if you read House Hackers Anonymous, that's what House Hackers Anonymous does. It takes you like this. It's a shortcut book. It's a book of shortcuts to get you from literally dumpster diving to being financially independent, artist, investor, traveling the world on passive income, able to have the time and leisure to build whatever you want to build. That's a passion project and not just for survival. So it's not gonna feel like everybody else. And you're probably not gonna be able to keep the same friends you kept before. You probably won't be able to keep any friends, because it's such transformative energy. That book, the contents in that book, when you follow the steps, it's just, you're going to be living the kind of lifestyle, you're going to be adopting the kind of energy, because it's the energy of the author, it's the energy that I'm giving you in that book. The energy that you're adopting is not going to allow you to keep the same habits going. You'll try to keep the same habits. You won't be able to, because it's just too transformative. Like, it's going to change your life too much, too fast. And so if you don't want your life to change, if you don't want to change, then you shouldn't read the book. But if you want to change, it's going to do it. It's going to do it whether you like it or not. It's going to take you on the crazy train. And the crazy train will take you up. It will take you up. That's what I always knew that book was going to do. It was going to, no matter what you think is happening, no matter what you get from the book, it's going to level you up in ways that you can't imagine. It's going to make you more powerful than you can ever imagine, than you could have imagined that it will do before reading the book. I always knew. Someone called. Very annoying. How dare you call at 8:52 p.m. for me? Kidding. So that book is going to change your life. It's going to change the way you see a lot of things. And it's not going to feel, in the moment, it's not going to feel very satisfying. It's going to feel like you're on a roller coaster. And I already have recognized that this is an effect I have on people, because this is how I feel. This is how I feel all the time. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. And you make people feel how you feel inside. By reading my literature, you're going to get my superpowers, which are getting to your goals in a very, very fast, short amount of time. But what comes with those superpowers is also the feeling of being on a roller coaster, which is maddening. Cool thing about you not being me is that won't be forever for you. For me, it's kind of like a lifestyle that I have been living in for a long time. For you, it won't be forever. It'll be very temporary. You can choose to not continue on that path. You can choose to reject things that the book talks about, and you can decide that actually you don't want the things that are in the book. You don't want what I have. You don't want to be moving so fast, and you actually are pretty content with moving at the pace that you've been moving until now. So ultimately, what is right will happen, but you'll be just more aware of what you're supposed to do. You'll just be more aware of the right path for you. It's not always going to be clear. You're not always going to feel good about the path that you're on, but you're always going to move at the pace that you're supposed to move. And even if you're supposed to move at a faster pace, and that's why you picked up my book and you read it or you listened to the audiobook. Trust the process. Trust how it feels. Trust that it's going exactly as fast as it's supposed to be going. And sometimes you don't have what you want right now, because the thing that you want comes with things that you don't want. And it's really hard to know that until you got the thing you wanted. It's really hard to know until you get the thing that you wanted. It's really hard to know that you didn't want the things that it comes with. And sometimes things taking longer than you wanted them to means that it's coming in a way that's more palatable for you. That's more that you can handle a little better. You know, like I want to be making $1 million a year. Let's say that's just a stupid example. I want to make $1 million a year. So I feel really clear that I want to be making $1 million a year. And I'm like, of course I want to be making $1 million a year. Oh, but what, Pardes? What about all the stresses that $1 million comes with? Well, I know that I won't be stressed out if I have $1 million a year. But $1 million a year could come with things that I don't want. It can come with a job that I don't want to be doing. Like, I say I want $1 million a year in my hand, but would I be willing to be an escort at a nightclub 7 days a week, every night, doing the night shift? Like, for $1 million a year, would I be willing to work 24/7, doing things that I really hate all day for $1 million a year? Would I be willing to be, like, what would you give up? What would you do for $1 million? Would I be willing to lose everybody I loved for $1 million a year? Maybe the answer is yes. But oftentimes when it doesn't happen soon enough, it's because the thing that you want comes with things that you don't want. So it takes longer to get to the thing that you want that doesn't come with the things you don't want. So I want $1 million. I want $1 million. I want $1 million. I keep saying I want $1 million. I want $1 million. And I go through life and I'm saying I want $1 million. Why isn't it coming fast enough? Well, it's coming to you because you want it. But it's just taking longer because it takes time to get to the $1 million that doesn't come with the things you don't want. The $1 million is out there. There's just a ton of $1 million is out there. But you just haven't been exposed yet to the $1 million that comes with what you want. And maybe getting exposed to that thing means learning more, putting yourself out there more, getting to know more of what you're willing to do, or what you like, what interests you, what you are capable of. A lot of people don't really know what they're capable of. Just get out there. Put yourself out there, take risks, explore. Learn about yourself. The faster you go through the discomfort and struggle of getting to know yourself, putting yourself out there, exploring, getting to know the world, the faster you get to the things that you want. And if the thing you want is to be comfortable, to not put yourself out there, then that's the priority then. Then everything else is not a priority. For a lot of people that I know, and that the book was written for, that House Hackers Anonymous was written for, the ability to just be comfortable and not put yourself out there and just be relaxed and just be with yourself, be at peace, comes with even that. Like, you have to achieve a certain level of hardship and risk to get to that level. So it's like, you might want to just like be safe in a cave, just be okay and be safe and like never be hurt again, never be touched again, never talk to anybody again, just be safe. You know, especially if you've been in survival mode for so long, especially if you've been traumatized, you know, you might want that, but realistically, it's just not going to happen until you do a few things to like really get that. And sometimes you need to be medicated until you get to that thing, until you get all those things done. You need to self-medicate. But self-medicating, you know, that runs out too. That like dies down. Self-medicating makes it, like, the longer you self-medicate, basically you're prolonging your ability to self-soothe, to learn like healthy self-soothing, which will make the actual being okay and at peace happen later on. It's gonna just take longer. When you're self-medicating, you're basically allowing the parts of yourself that can learn how to deal with pain, you're allowing those parts of yourself to like atrophy. So it's like, imagine muscles. Imagine if you, you need to be able to crawl, you need to be able to climb up a flight of stairs. You need to climb up a flight of stairs in order to get to your destination. So you want to get to your destination, and your destination has no stairs. But in order to get to your destination, you need to climb a flight of stairs. So you try to climb the stairs, but you realize that your muscles just aren't, you're just too weak. So like, what happens for normal people is they climb a few steps, and then they're like, oh, I'm too weak, so I'm gonna like try again tomorrow. And then the next day they climb a few steps and they're like, oh, I'm too tired, I'm gonna try again tomorrow. And every day that they try more and more and more, their muscles build up, and they like eventually can go up the stairs, and then they like can climb up the stairs all the way, and then they never have to do that again. They never have to like learn those muscles again, because their muscles will be learned, and then it'll just be smooth sailing from there. But And that's like a terrible example. But what you're doing when you self-medicate is you, instead of taking the stairs and just allowing it to take however long it takes for you to get used to getting up the stairs, and then once you get up the stairs you never have to climb stairs again, you'll be okay. You are choosing to take the elevator to get there. But the problem with the elevator is that once you use the elevator, you can never get up the stairs, even get up 1 or 2 stairs without the elevator. And over time, the elevator weakens and weakens and weakens. So you're basically like deteriorating your ability to ever get to your destination. And even if you do get to your destination, it'll be fleeting, because as soon as the elevator wears off, you like fall back down, and you have to and then your muscles over time disappear. Your muscles of being able to like climb up the stairs. God, I wish I had a better example of this. But self-medicating means that you're basically allowing to atrophy. You're killing off the parts of yourself that will be able to learn how to like be in the world and do these things sustainably, which is going to make life much harder for you down the line. It's just going to make it harder for you down the line. It's going to prolong the process. So it's like you have to do it because you got to do what you got to do, but at the same time, like, it's just not sustainable. So while you're doing it, unless your plan is to end your life in eternal bliss, pure eternal bliss, or whatever it's called, unless you're planning to do that, it would be advisable to have a side plan going for how you're going to sustainably cope in the world without those drugs. So, yeah. But even if you do, like, there's so many people, I know so many people who have done all kinds of drugs, and they were able to get off of it down the road. So, you know what? Do whatever you're gonna do, because you'll be fine. And if you die, then you die. You'll still be fine. Dead people are the most fine. They're like zero crisis. There is nothing to fix when you're dead. So what your job is to do now is to just trust that things are moving exactly how they're supposed to move. The only thing to doubt is doubt. Don't doubt. Just don't doubt. Oh no, like, what did I say this morning to this person and do this thing? Oh, what things didn't I do? Oh, I should have called someone. Who didn't I call? Oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. Oh, I should have, would have, could have. Oh, what did I... Oh, I said something to the guy at the front desk and he... I should have said it nicer. I should have said hello. I was just too lost in thought when this person said hi to me. I didn't say hi back. Just a million thoughts of, oh my God, like things that you should have done, that you could have done. Social media makes it worse because you just see a barrage of things people are accomplishing, and you're getting like the false illusion that everybody's doing all of these things, you know, but like they're not doing all of these things. You're just getting a lot of people in your feed, and there's a lot of people that you don't see that are just kicking back and relaxing. You don't see those people. You're not around those people. You don't see all the people that are having a good time, not worrying about stuff, not creating content constantly. Ugh. My big giant pregnant boobs. Like, I know it looks like people get pregnant and then they get fat and they let go, but I swear to you, I'm not really even eating that much compared to before I was pregnant. I'm just growing so fast. Like, my boobs are growing faster than I've ever even thought that it could stretch. Like, my belly, like, I'll show it to you maybe later in like a later video. It's growing fast. It's like a little balloon, and when you touch it, it feels like a basketball that you like pumped to the max. Like, that's what it feels like. You know, like when you pump up a basketball and it's just so full of air, and you like tap it and it like bounces back from like being so full of air, like it feels like it's exploding, like a balloon. Just like you touch it and it like bounces back because it's exploding. That's what my belly feels like. That's what my 4.5-month pregnant belly feels like. It is stretching. So there's just a lot of moving parts that happen when you decide that you want something. When you decide you want something, you're not just wanting the thing. You're not just deciding that you're going to have that thing that you want. You're deciding that you're going to transform into the person that has that thing. And you transforming into the person that has that thing that you want is going to be painful, probably. You know what I mean? On some level, it's going to be painful. Like, you're gonna, you know, I want to be in a loving relationship, let's say. You want to say, I want to be in a loving, stable relationship. There's a lot of people that are, or me, before I started doing relationships, like, I was totally clueless about how a relationship would even work, and I didn't understand men. I didn't understand anything. I didn't even understand myself. I say, I want a loving, stable relationship. In order to get that, I had to go through a lot of pain and suffering, getting to know myself, to even get to the point of becoming the kind of person that even fit in a relationship. Okay, I want to be like Beyonce. I want to sing like Beyonce. Okay, well, it takes a certain level of pain to sing like Beyonce. It's not necessarily going to feel painful, but it's going to be a curve. Anything you want in life is going to come with some kind of thing. I want to be popular. I want to go viral. I want to go viral on social media. I want a lot of people to watch my videos. Well, a lot of people watching your videos, well, it'll come with, you being the kind of person that a lot of people watches your videos means, you are consistent all the time. Your videos are good quality, the kind of quality that can go viral. Your videos are, or they're just talking about stuff that people like really, really, really speaks to people. You're gonna be comfortable with getting haters all the time and like people picking apart your looks and your personality or like things you said. There's just always going to be something that the thing you want comes with that you might not want. And so, like, if it was just about the thing that you wanted, you would get it. Like, for me, if it was just about getting followers, I know exactly how to get a lot of followers. All I have to do is get on Twitter, get on here even, and just say everything I know that will get people angry based on trends. So I know that people are trending, talking a lot about transgender stuff. They're talking about the Jews. They're talking about the men and women fighting. Like, there's so much you can talk about. Just getting to know the trends and then just being as controversial as possible, be catchy, and speak within a certain narrative, speak in a way that speaks to people's culty tendencies. A lot of people in America are very culty about their ideologies. So all you have to do is speak, and by culty I mean like people that just walk around saying and thinking the same exact thing, even the same exact language, thinking that they're thinking something different. But like, I mean, even I do this. Is like I think a lot of things that everybody is thinking, and I agree with a lot of people. But like, it's not really that original, and it would be really easy to manipulate. If you want to get a lot of followers, all you have to do is say, taxation is theft, which I agree. And the Fed, haha. Like, I mean, you just say something that a lot of people agree with, that speaks the same language as a lot of people. So why don't I do that? Well, I don't want to attract that energy anymore, because I did it for a while. When you attract the energy of the mob, you get the kind of customers that it's just a different type of customer. I just didn't want that kind of customer. I don't want that kind of audience. I want the people that watch my videos to be people that are more kind of long-term, that are part of the cult of watching Pardes' videos and not anything else. Just like, there's people that I watch because they agree with me on stuff. Like, I don't know. COVID was a scam, okay? Let's say I think COVID is a scam. So the people that I follow or that I watch, because I agree with them that COVID was like a scam. Is like the governments were like scamming people, trying to get them to like buy a bunch of pharmaceutical stuff, maybe. I don't know. So I might follow those people because they said those things that I agree with. But like, also the things that I agree with, like my opinions, are gonna change constantly, because I'm constantly changing, because I'm going through the world, I'm traveling around, I'm just changing as a person. So my opinions will always change. So those people, like, I'm not really gonna want to follow them for so long, because then I'm gonna move on to some other beliefs about stuff. But there are people that I follow because I actually just like them as a person, and I follow their personalities, and I don't care what they believe in, and their beliefs can change day to day, and I would still want to follow them because it's more just I'm there for their overall persona, lifestyle, whatever. So I'm gonna be a better customer to those people because I'm more long term. And it's like any relationship, for me, I just want people that are there for the whole package and not based on like a single issue type of thing. Because the single issue kind of people, ideally, you're gonna change. You're gonna change your mind. I'd want you to change your mind. I'd want you to be the kind of person that's constantly growing in life, and that will, grow out of even the way that you thought about those things. Maybe you'll still think the same exact opinions and the same exact things, but you might just shift the attitude by which you did that. And so that's the kind of person I wanted to attract. It's the kind of person that was there for the full package, that I could build a relationship with long term as an audience. And that just wasn't gonna happen through my catchy viral tactics that worked in the past. A lot of the people that followed me through political stuff, a lot of them stayed with me, but most of them don't care anymore. Like on Twitter, like most of the people that I attracted by going viral on Twitter through following trends and saying things that made me go viral and doing things that made me go viral. I did all sorts of things. I did all kinds of things to make myself go viral, and it worked. It works. If you want to go viral, if you want to get a ton of followers, you can do that. And I used to have Periscope. I used to have even more views on Periscope. I used to get millions of views on like a single video. I would get millions of views. And if you were there with me from the political days, which a lot of you were, you would remember this. But that just didn't stick, because as soon as I stopped talking about those things, all those people fell off. They just didn't care anymore. As soon as I, especially if you start traveling the world and you're not living in the States anymore, you just don't care about politics as much anymore. You don't talk about the same things anymore, because your politics becomes more broader. Like, your world is just broader. You don't care. You're not busy talking about like the nitty gritty of like your local state politics or whatever. You live in China or South America. You don't care anymore. So then when that happens, or when you grow out of it, you don't care about career stuff and your work politics anymore, because you became a housewife or whatever it is. So when that happens, all those people fall off that cared about the previous issue. And because you haven't been building a platform that's based on you as a whole person, you've been building a platform based on. So I'm just using this as an example to say, like, just because you want something, it doesn't mean that you want everything that comes with that thing. Like, just because, like, I knew at first I wanted to go viral and I wanted a lot of followers. But when I went for it blindly and I just did whatever I needed to do to get that, I discovered very quickly that it came with a lot of things that I didn't want to come with. It came with, well, if I don't have say the same things consistently over time, and I don't keep the same opinions forever and ever and ever, and stay in the same exact place forever and ever, then I will lose those followers. And I'll have to start all over again from scratch, going viral on a different thing. And it's exhausting. And then I also get harassment, stalkers, hate. It becomes impossible for me to make any personal connections. Becomes impossible to get a job, to move, to live anywhere, because like people just become hyper focused on this online persona. So, and if where you're trying to go doesn't match exactly where your those views were, then it becomes a problem. So like, I also had to change and become the kind of person where it doesn't matter if that happens, because I don't have any people in my life that would be affected anymore. I don't have any people in my life that would be affected by me. I could go online right now and say the N-word and anti-Semitic slurs and anti-phobic whatever it's called. Like, I could just say bad things on my Twitter and on these videos all day long. I can say controversial things. I can just say all kinds of things right now on my Twitter and on my YouTube video, and like nothing would happen. Nobody would care. Maybe the video would get like flagged or something, demonetized. But I don't live in a life anymore where I have people that would care. So like, changes need to happen for you to even be the kind of person that can receive what you want to receive. And sometimes the reason why you don't have what you want right now is because you don't want it right now. If you had it right now, it would come with things that you really would not want. And it would upend a lot of things for you. If you had all the followers now, it would come with a certain level of commitment and requirements and consequences that maybe you're not ready for right now. Life gives you what you can handle. And it gives it to you at the right time. No earlier, no later. So just, as much as are going to do everything that's possibly in your power to try to get to where you want in life and the things you want. You want to fight your anxiety, you want peace, you want happy life, relationships, prosperity, like all the things you want. As much as you want those things and you're going to do everything within your power to get them, there's going to be a lot that won't be in your power right now. That there's going to be a lot of waiting too. There's going to be a lot of trusting that you're going to need to do and letting go. It's like with working out with your muscles. There's the working out part, the muscle part, and then there's the resting part. And the resting takes longer than the working out part itself. When you work out, you're just like breaking down those muscles. That might take you like a few hours a week. The resting part, the relaxing those muscles so they can build back up, that will take like days. And in terms of your goals and the things that you're doing to get to them, like when you read House Hackers Anonymous, like that's going to be practical steps of getting to the things, doing the things, getting yourself in motion, getting the process started in motion. You're going to be biking, you're pushing, you're kicking your feet on the pedal, you're pushing your feet on the pedal and biking. But then there's going to be a lot of it where like the bike is moving on its own without you pushing your feet on the pedal. There's going to be a lot of just like holding on and trusting that you're getting to where you need to go, that the bike is getting you forward, moving you towards where you need to go without constantly kicking. And in fact, if you just keep constantly kicking, you're going to lose energy. You're going to drive yourself crazy. You're going to lose energy that you could be saving for like future kicks. So there's just some of it that you're going to kick and some of it where you're just going to rest. You're going to stay and you're going to trust. So rest and trust. And in fact, the resting and trusting phase might take even longer then. And it should take longer. It's actually a really good sign if your rest and trust phase is taking longer than the actual working and controlling phase. Because it means that the work and controlling phase was really effective. It means that the process that you set in motion is actually being effective. So yeah, that's what I'm going to leave you off on. Sorry this video took so long. Trust the process. That's your homework for today, is to trust the process. Trust that what you did to get yourself to the next goal is working, and that there is a lot right now that you cannot control. And it's just up to you to trust that it's going to get you to somewhere. It's going to get you to where you need to go. Maybe you didn't even feel like you did anything, but you are moving somewhere. You're moving somewhere, and you don't always realize where that is. And usually the way that you know that you're moving somewhere the fastest is when it feels like you're actually not doing anything. That's how you know that you're moving the fastest, when it feels like you're moving the slowest. Usually that's when you know that you're moving the fastest. Trust me on it, because I've spent a really long time in this. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.